I was showing up to work and I saw the video of him walking off. I wasn't sure what the injury was, but it didn't look good.
Here's where the injury, we believe, happened to Schroeder. He just stayed down there at that other end of the court and then went to the locker room. Also, Enes Kanter left the game with an apparent leg injury, so the Celtics continue to be banged up. LeBron James at Madison Square Garden tonight off their worst loss of the season. They bounced back. It wasn't easy. 8-point win. LeBron 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Here's LeBron James in the Laker visiting locker room tonight at Madison Square Garden.
Just trying to be in a position where I can help my team be successful on the defensive end. It was a slow-paced game, so, defensive stops was very key to our success tonight. And trying to be the communicator, being the Ed Reed of the team, being able to see things, bark out calls, and being able to make plays. And, I was able to make a couple.
You start 8 and 9 from the field efficiently on offense, and then down the stretch, it looked like AD was having an advantage, kept getting to the free throw line. What did you see getting him back in rhythm tonight?
That's what we want. We want to be well-balanced, and we was able to do that tonight. I tried to start off the game being aggressive. I was able to get myself going, and then, AD was able to, facilitate down the stretch, and it was good basketball.
LeBron, what changed the tempo of the game? You guys very defensive, both teams, very close. Third quarter, you guys kind of started pulling away. What changed about that time?
Well, we continued to get defensive stops that allowed us to get out and run a little bit. We executed a lot better in that third quarter, but I think it was the defensive stops that allowed us to get out in the early break.
How have you felt about the sort of chemistry, on-court chemistry in the last 2 games with the team?
What do you mean? Feel great.
Huh?
Feel great.
Just been sort of some offensively, maybe just some possessions where it seems like the offense has sputtered a little bit.
No, listen, we had a bump game in Boston, but I feel great. Our chemistry on the court is always great because how much we get along off the floor.
LeBron, is it still special?
Say that again? Yeah, I was more of a facilitator in the second half. Want to try to get AD going. He looked a little out of rhythm in the first half, so it's a point of emphasis for me to come into the third quarter and in the fourth quarter to get him going. So that was the difference.
LeBron, is it still special for you after all these years to come and play at Madison Square Garden?
Yep, it's probably my favorite arena in the world to play as a visitor. Coming here, understanding the history, the mecca of basketball, being here in the bright lights, being here in the Garden. It's my favorite place to come play, so absolutely special.
With all the thoughts over the years of Knicks fans desperately wishing that you'd come here, if your son gets drafted by the Knicks one day, will you consider playing with him here?
Man, my son in the 9th grade, man. He's trying to worry about what project you got to turn in tomorrow. That's what we worried about right now, and that's what's most important. School, home, and being the best big brother he can be, so.
Kyle didn't score in the first.
Say that again?
Kyle Kuzma didn't score in the first half. He scored 10 big points in the second half. What did you like from him out there tonight?
Listen, we all play the game, for the better of the team. And, Kuz missed a couple shots in the first half, but it didn't let him slow him down in the second half. He was able to get it going. He got to the rim a couple of times, got to the free throw line. And you seen the ball go to the hoop, and, it was good for him.
You got a couple of them.
You're getting closer to passing Kobe on the all-time scoring list. I'm just wondering, what do you think that will mean to, if to do that in this uniform?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. It's another guy that I looked up to when I was in grade school and high school, and seeing him come straight out of high school, he, someone that I use as inspiration. It was like, wow, seeing a kid of 17 years old coming into the NBA and trying to make an impact on a franchise, and I was like, I used that as motivation. He helped me, before he even knew of me because of what he was able to do. Just to be able to, at this point in my career, to share the same, jersey that he wore, be with this historical franchise, and just represent the purple and gold. It's very humbling. It's dope. Kobe's a legend, that's for damn sure.
LeBron, did you incorporate any of his game into your game? And if you did, what were the kind of things that he did that you wanted to do?
No, I can't sit here and say that I did, because we were just two totally different players. You know, his willingness to do whatever it takes to win is something that you admired and love his drive to get better and better every year. But as far as his game, we're a different player. I'm more of a facilitator, and he's a natural-born scorer. So we would have worked well together, as you saw in the Olympic team.
Last two questions.
LeBron, this year you talk about being a facilitator. You've been obviously playing the point more. It seems to really tailor to your game. How much have you enjoyed this?
It doesn't matter, to be honest. I mean, just being able to suit up and play the game that I love to play is what was very enjoyable to me. So, if it's me being a facilitator for this team, starting at the point guard position, or if it's, being in my natural position at the three, or just, being out on the floor, that's what's enjoyable to me, because I'm still playing the game that I love to play and doing it with a historical franchise.
And back to back like this one, do you start thinking about Kyrie and the Nets now, or do you kind of wait till tomorrow? You guys go through your walkthrough in the morning and then think about that matchup and staying here in New York?
Now.
Any thoughts on the matchup?
No, because I don't want to tip our hand just yet. But as soon as I came in here, I started thinking about tomorrow night's game, so looking forward to it.
All right, Lakers bounce back nicely from their biggest loss of the season. Take you out to Phoenix. Here's the Utah Jazz. Pardon me. I'm sorry, TJ Water, the Indiana. It's been a long night here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Been on the air since 7 Eastern. Indiana up 85-66. Here is Utah, the team that just beat Indiana. Bogdanovich.
Bogey.
Tell you what, that offseason pickup is looking better and better by the game.
Yes, it
Guys
is.
up 53-36. Here's what we got in the West standings right now, the top 1 through 8. But again, remember, to be in 14th place, second to last, is not to be in a bad spot right now, amazingly enough, because the difference between 8th and 14th is just 5 games in the loss column.
And that's what makes the Western Conference for this year. We've known the last couple of years, Jared, maybe 1 through 4, 1 through 6, maybe logged in. This time, really the whole conference until you get down to basically, Golden State last 3, because now New Orleans thinks they can fight, Phoenix thinks they can fight.
Question.
And they're all going to be battling now for the next couple months.
Before tonight got going in New Orleans, David Griffin joked about having to play the evil empire tonight. And he was joking about the Spurs' history, but he's also talking about the fact that the Spurs are right in this mix.
Mm-hmm.
They're a half game out, and if the Spurs can hold on to win tonight due to the Memphis loss, Spurs will find themselves in the 8th spot as we enter Thursday in the NBA.
So, Jared, that's what's going to make this bottom half so much fun to talk about, because we know what Portland's trying to do. Dame has a 61 the other night. Melo's been playing lights-out basketball. We talked about Devin Booker earlier. He's trying to say, finally, can my offensive game, now that Coach Miney has challenged me to play defense, it's like now they're trying to fight for it. And then San Antonio, okay, that's what they do. They know how to tweak some things, get back to playing great basketball to get back to the playoff hunt. And then last but not least, can Ja Morant get going again along with Jaren Jackson Jr. and get things going?
The Pacers will have to finish this one out without Malcolm Brogdon. Laceration, he left the game, took 3 stitches above the eye.
Ouch.
20-point game right now.
Yeah, I don't like you said look on their face. That's not a good look.
By the way, we've just learned here that the Celtics are pretty optimistic about Jason Tatum's injury. We showed you him limp off the court with what looked like a groin injury. Brad Stevens telling reporters it didn't sound like it was too bad. I'm not too concerned about that, so that's good news here for the Boston Celtics. All right, let's listen in here. Early 4th quarter, see if the Suns can make a run here. Wow, Doug McDermott with the bucket. Get it out to Kevin Ray and Eddie Johnson live on Crunch Time.
Carter going right at Sabonis.
Can't trade buckets, though. You got to get some stops. To just give Monty a thought that maybe he can bring back Devin Booker and Kelly Oubre.
McDermott too strong with that one as Okobo reels in the rebound. Yeah, and that's really what he's looking at. As Jacobo can't connect on that one. Is looking for that 7-0, 8-0 run.
And maybe try to get creative as they did against San Antonio.
Holiday on the drive. Jacobo got a hand on it off his leg. So Suns basketball.
This group's probably going to get maybe another couple of minutes.
No Cam Johnson again tonight. No Aaron Baines again tonight.
Yeah,
no Frank Kaminsky. And
a lot of points over there on the bench.
Yeah. Well, and two of the players in particular, EJ, with the ability to put pressure on the defense in terms of spreading the floor with Kaminsky and Cam.
Well, and gives
the ability to shoot the three.
It gives them a matchup, too. A favorable matchup. Baines out there with Ayton. Maybe Sabonis can't guard him.
Sabonis through the double team, forced the miss inside by Holiday. Keel on the drive and kick. Here's the rookie Ty Jerome, comes up short as McDermott may have gotten a piece of that one.
McDermott get a block, boy. He's feeling good.
Well, Devin Booker, Kelly Oubre making their way back to the scores table.
And McDermott, you see how he moved without the ball. No, I want to just show the highlight of that when we come back with these young kids.
We'll step aside from that game in Phoenix in a moment. Update here in San Francisco. D'Angelo Russell's got 13 to lead the way for Golden State, but they trail right now by 16. 15 for Rudy Gobert with 1:22 to go in the first half. Out to New Orleans, the Zion debut. He's still sitting on 2 points on 1 of 2 from the field. DeMar DeRozan's got 6 points. San Antonio, led by his